All right, we're now live, I think. Hopefully. Let me just reduce my volume here. How to do that? Oh yeah, right here. Sorry. All right, so really, I'm just continuing drawing my Eve from Stellar Blade, that I did a week ago. I didn't really get to work on this too much because I had a lot of work to do this week, and hopefully I can finish this week. Actually, I'm hoping to finish it today, if not on stream, maybe off stream. But this is gonna be because it's gonna be a part of a video that I'm working on, and I really need to put that out there. Um, because I think I'm about a week late now. I'm kind of dropping my frequency of uploads into at least once a week, so I can at least deliver more quality than quantity. I don't know. I just feel like the video I'm working on right now, which is about making a cover art for a manga as well as color theory, it's actually a really big video, right? Because there's a lot to cover there, and also this painting will be about rendering in black and white and how I do it on manga. Now, there's two ways to do it, and I'm gonna show all two of them on the video that I'll be producing after this painting is finished. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get into it. Okay. Because I really want to finish this before, the stream ends or something. There's only a few things I need to do here. Anyway, rendering is like the most fun and most relaxing thing you can do when it comes to painting, because a lot of the heavy lifting is already done when you're rendering. The line work is done, the posing is done, all those things that I need to figure out, they're all in a back burner now, and I can just finish on making it look good. So this shouldn't take long. This part shouldn't take long. Hey Ash. Hey guys, I'm finally trying to learn sketching again. I'm learning side profiles. That's so cool, man. Are you doing it traditionally? And how's your schooling going? Mm-hmm. Much like shading, normally I'm really just looking for the parts where shadows could be the strongest. So underneath these objects here, the shadow is gonna cast really strong shadows, right? So I'm adding a lot of these blacks. I've done many tries and I'm improving, but I still can't draw hands. Can you give me tips on how to draw hands on full body? I believe I have a video for that, right? On how to draw hands, how to break down hands. You can watch it there, or I'll show you how I did it very quickly here. Okay. So, well, wait a minute. Give me a sec. So to draw hands, I really just think of it as, let's say, how many parts is it? 4 parts. I forgot, but I'll demonstrate it here now. Okay. Hey, Rain Day, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. People are coming in. Very good, very good. So I'm actually was just trying to see if I can demonstrate how to draw hands. So let's just draw a basic hand, right? So I divided to the base hand. I divided into, let's say, 4 parts. Let's just say 3, because the 4th part isn't really that important. Okay, so this big base here, this second triangle here, and this one here. Now notice it's like in an angle, right? This part and this part is in an angle. Maybe I could pull this down a little bit lower. And the 4th part is really just the wrist that connects everything here. Okay, does that make sense so far? Imagine the fingers are yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. So this part will be the thumb, of course. And I just imagine the thumb. So there are actually two. I think there are two. Yeah, there are two separations for the thumb. I'm being really rough here again. There's a full video that I actually draw a hand, a much more in depth version of this one. Okay, where I put a lot of effort in that. Oh, sorry. Wait. Okay, so that's like the thumb. So this triangle becomes the thumb, and let's just say this is the um. Actually, you know what? That needs to be a little bit more lower. Let's just say that. And this needs to be the sausage, right? So on fingers, there's actually 3 folds, but I'll just like to, express that in 2. You can do it with 3. It doesn't matter. And then the middle finger in the, I kind of just lump that in, like this. So remember, this middle finger is the longest finger. Okay. And then this side here, I probably drew that a little bit more, something like this. Okay. So I'm gonna show you how the guide helps you with different angles now. But that's basically the basic part of it. Okay. That's like the construction. Can I use this in the body? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you be able to? You can use it as a reference point to aid in general. Yeah, I mean that's the exact same reference that I use for this hand, right? So for a much more 3D approach, remember the 3 parts here. The thing, this thing that I drew earlier. You can always do that with 3D. So let's just say that's the hand. Okay, that's this big one over here. And then the thumb is actually on an angle. And then the pinky, with this part here is actually this part here. Okay, the thumb, where the thumb goes, this thing. And then this part is like this. Okay, so that's like the 3D version of it. Okay, and then you can just, proceed to draw your fingers. Right, whatever. I'm really just making this really quick. I'm gonna get things wrong. Again, I have an in-depth video where I put a little bit more effort into the drawing. Okay, maybe something like this is better. Maybe I drew that a bit more. Just adjust your sketch, your guide as you go. Right, because sometimes you do get the proportions a little bit wrong, and that's the entire point of the guide. Okay, so that could be the underneath thing, that could be the wrist. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Depending on how much improvement you want, it will cost, of course, vary. Hands are just 3 triangles for palm, and sausages for fingers. Yeah, exactly. Sausages that it's like divided into like 2 shapes. Okay. And for side profiles, because this is like more 3D, right? This is the palm part. For side profiles, it's pretty much the same. So this big part is the base. Actually, let me do that again. This big part here is the base. That's the wrist over here. Okay. Now, we're gonna draw the side of the thumb. Okay, so this again, the thumb is on an angle. Okay. Now the pinky is on the other side of this box here, so we're not gonna draw that because it won't be visible anyway. So let's draw the thumb. Okay. Now the sausages. This is the pointy finger, and because it's again in the side profile, we won't be able to draw all of them, but we can express them and imply all of the fingers by just at least acknowledging that they're there. So this connects like this, and then we can draw two more fingers here maybe, because their joints is like in the other side. You won't be able to see them. Right, so that's like a side profile. If you're standing still, if you have, let's say, a human doll, like this. Sorry, my this is lagging. Human doll like this, and you need a finger there. You can just do this exact same study. 1 second. Lagging, guys. I wish I kind of restarted the program before I went live. I just maybe flip that. Maybe put that there as a guide. Do you see what I mean? PYSM. I don't know what that means. I'll remember it and I'll practice. It's for the left hand, right hand. What about the right hand? Should I switch? Well, they're pretty much the same, right? Look. That could be the right hand or my left hand, right? And then we can just flip that, and that could be the right hand. It's because when you're doing this, they look the same. Like the thumb is in front of the camera. I don't know if you can see that on my screen. Give me 1 sec. The thumb is like the thumb is like in front of the camera, right? So it's not like the other hand is like this. Okay, does that make sense? It's not like the other hand is another shape, right? Again, watch my in-depth video about how to draw hands. I believe that's probably the most useful video you can watch. Did I just delete one of my layers? Give me 1 sec. Oh no, I didn't. That's probably one of the most in-depth videos I've covered when it comes to drawing hands, because I actually get that question a lot on how to draw hands. So I decided to make a video instead. Yeah. Hopefully that helps though. And also I'm drawing a lot bit better there because I'm again putting a lot more effort. The shape goes into a shape press that presses the shape into press shape. I don't know what that means, man. If you really want to get in depth, you can study the bone structure. You don't even have to study like at the full length anatomy of the hand, right? Just the bone structure is enough. I kind of think about that with anatomy. You don't need to learn every single anatomical structure with the body to be able to draw well in anatomy. For me, just draw the bone structure. Just learn to draw the bone structure. That should be more than enough. And of course, you can always take it further by drawing or learning a few more. But you don't have to. As for starters, just try to learn the bone structure. Come on. My Photoshop is really lagging me today. Hopefully it doesn't crash. See, I'm not doing any of this, but it's doing it on its own. I really am lagging. I feel like I want to restart the stream, but I don't want to do that. I'm already in it. I am having trouble drawing though, the normal, because of the lag. I can manage. Don't worry about it. Simplified shapes helps a lot. Can use trapezoids for a bunch of triangles for the palm. Yeah. Well, there's really no correct way to break it down. Every artist have its their own way to break down the hands. As long as it makes sense to you and it looks like a hand at the end of the day, there's no wrong way to break it down. You know. That's just how I do it. I believe I got it from a Chinese artist. I forgot the name. It's been so long, you know, since I learned how to do that. But I remember watching the video of a Chinese guy break it down, and it made sense to me. So that's why I kind of stole it. Just stole the trick, right? So if just practice whatever makes sense to you, and at the end of the day, if what you're drawing looks like a hand, that should be good enough. And just practice, yeah. Don't just draw whatever you want. I mean, do that. But while you're drawing whatever you want, you also need to study whatever it is you're drawing. Big shapes. I'm not sure if this actually looks good. I'm this part here. I'm really just making it up. I'm experimenting. Okay. This is sort of like my weak point, and part of this painting is like all of my painting is a study. I don't know if that works, guys. I don't think it does. Make this a lot more thinner, maybe. A bit better. So thinner too. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, that looks all right. I'm happy with that. This part is actually her hand, um, which will cast a lot of shadows because it's behind her. If you're drawing Evie, it's coming in great. Hey, thanks. Oh yeah, it's coming on great. I can't wait for her to finish her, but also I don't want to rush it. I have a bad habit of rushing my artwork when it's almost finished because I get too excited to show off what I got, you know. Um, so I'm practicing not doing that, holding myself back at the moment. Okay, that's her hand. It should be mostly in shadow, so that's why there's a lot of blacks there. Skin tight uniform, so you know she's gonna show some bulges on her belly button. Um, you know, I just realized this part does not make sense. We're gonna redraw this. Okay, so it should be here. Mistakes were made. I need that to be a bit more of an angle. Okay, that's a lot better. It's gonna be really difficult to stretch the shade too. Underneath the boost, that part is gonna cast a shadow, but because of all the suit detail, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to render. You do not rush it. I know, right? Unless you want to run peek that. All that belly button, gotta check that's a detail I have missed. Oh yeah, well I'll fix that later. It's very sketchy at the moment. I'm really just putting that there as a reminder that I have to render that. Because I'm gonna do a little bit of gray here. It's not just black and white. There's some values here, right? I think last week I've demonstrated how I do metal with this part. That style of rendering will be all over the painting too. Okay, so right now I'm really just adding the black part, the darker parts, the black part, right? And then next we'll move on to the grays, to the different shade of grays. So this part has a lot of metal going on for it. Okay, so it's gonna be again one of those things that's gonna be difficult to render. But we'll get there. You know, rendering is relatively, again, like I said earlier, it's relatively relaxing. I can probably finish the render by today. If not, I'll finish most of it. That you got, you won't see much difference between the final product and the, whatever it is that I end up doing today. Okay. I know I'm rotating quite a lot, and I've been getting complaints about some of my videos being really, really annoying. Well, these are like old complaints, right? And that's why it's a bit harder for me to do speed paints, and I have to uh, do a lot of workarounds because my style of drawing is rotating, zooming in, zooming out, and you can imagine in a speed paint, that's just going to be a headache to watch. Okay, let's add some scratches here. They're supposed to be metal, right? As if she's already used them. Looking back at this now, there's a lot of details that I really skipped, or at least didn't really put much attention to. Like these circles here. You know what? We'll do that now. I really am lagging like a mofo. I think it's because I've had Photoshop running for a very long time on my computer that it's kind of messing with me now. And I wish I kind of, did a restart so that it didn't really lag me so much because I'm having trouble drawing. It's okay though. I am complaining, but it's not like I have a choice. Come on. Okay, that's a bit better. Well, if you notice a pattern, then it makes sense. Yeah. That's okay. Getting the hang of this. Okay. You know the company that's making Stellar Blade at the moment? Pizza. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. They're kind of having some controversies with AI right now, which personally I don't really care. But it'd be funny if I post this right and had a caption on Twitter that says, you know, you promoted AI. Mind if you can promote my art too? I don't know, man. Of course they are. I really don't care about that all stuff. I'm not really super anti AI. I'm not pro using it either. You know. Um, but in my opinion, I think I've said this before. Um, there has to be some sort of compromise where AI becomes not something that doesn't become sorry, where AI becomes something that doesn't steal people's art, and it just becomes something that you use as a tool like Photoshop. Because it's here to stay. I don't think there's a amount of boycotting that's going to make it go away, right? Well, hopefully I can be wrong with that about that. I really hope so, but AI is in fact here to stay. So why not just integrate it to um uh the actual art process, right? Instead of fighting against it. I haven't figured out what that looks like yet. But that's just something that I'm predicting in the near future that people will have to accept that fact. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert in this, right? I'm just making this up. But if like artists can bridge that gap between art theft and AI, I think it will elevate art in general to another level that we don't even know about, right? And the reason why I say that is because the remember when photography was new. Well, before photography, there wasn't really any photorealistic art style, right? And photorealism came out as an answer from artists, um, as an answer to photography. But before that, it didn't exist. So I can only imagine what kind of art form that artist comes up with that comes out of like the answer to AI, right? The challenge to the answer to AI in the same way that photorealism it was the answer to photography from artists. If that makes sense, right? And that actually excites me because imagine photorealism taking that artwork and then giving it to somebody who has no idea who what a camera is from like say the Middle Ages. That's witchcraft. You'll be burned to like a witch, right? Um, it's almost like magic. And in my opinion, art is kind of like magic, right? Where we're especially traditional art, where you're like taking a piece of like wood with paper and adding graphite to it, and then you get this emotions out of it, right? Like, where did this come from? Of course, they are the same thought process. I know the problem will occur with it later. Um, yeah, exactly. Right. It's just that there's some sort of zeitgeist that's going on right now with AI, right? Where it's not really overly accepted to the public yet, and I get that. I totally empathize with the artist, um, that that says no to AI. I totally get it. Um, and a part of me is kind of like that too. I don't like the fact that AI exists. I'm just trying to learn to live with it, if that makes sense. Depending on how you do it, there's of course paintings that do exist. Yeah, but they're not really like, Michelangelo or Da Vinci's paintings. They're really really good, but they're not photo realistic. Like, like they're not they don't look like they were captured by a camera, right? And I've seen these stuff, right? I've seen these charcoal drawings or graphite drawings, that really I can't really tell if they were taken for. I mean, I can still tell that the Mona Lisa or the Sixtine Chapel or the Last Supper, I can still tell that they're like they're paintings. But some of this stuff that came out of photorealism is absolutely insane. Favorite anime? Favorite anime? I'll have to be very biased, and I'll say Dragon Ball, because I grew up with that stuff. That's the thing that I ran to from my school, so that I can just watch the afternoon show, right? But if I were to, let's say, take off my bias glasses off, and what would be my favorite anime? I really can't. I haven't really given that some thought. Um, People would be expecting me to give like a really obscure answer, like Records of Lodoss War. That's really really good. Or Birdie the Mighty, very obscure anime that I've watched, but really I have a very generic answer for that, and it's gonna be either Attack on Titan, really really good. Attack on Titan for its storytelling, by the way, because I got into the original Dragon Ball, yeah, the original Dragon Ball when Kid Goku was still around. Attack on Titan, and because of its really really clean storytelling, really really good. And as somebody who's just new to writing, that stuff really resonates with me. Um, I'm gonna have to say another generic answer, and again, it's because of the writing. It's gonna have to be One Piece, one of the greatest story ever told, in my opinion. If you just if you just take out all the fluff, like imagine what you're reading One Piece. Okay, you're reading One Piece, but it's instead of reading a manga of One Piece, you're reading a novel of One Piece. Right? Just separate the art style from the actual story. And I think it's that's gonna elevate the story even more. And it's just held back because of its art style. A lot of people don't like it, but take that out, and it's one of the greatest story ever told. Um, what else? What's a good anime? Or cursed paintings that exist. True, true. Attack on Titan was created when mangaka was just 19, I think. Yeah, I think I think his name is Izayama. Isn't everyone has a theory for One Piece? Just as recently, yeah, exactly. I think that's been going on for a very long time, and I've only just recently watched One Piece. I think last 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. Yeah, I caught up to One Piece, but during its release, the big three, I watched all of the big three except for One Piece. Again, the art style held me back. I thought it was stupid, and in fact, it kind of took me 2 tries to rewatch to be able to get into it. The first time, I only watched like 12 minutes of the first episode. I was like, screw this. This looks silly. And then I think 3 months later, or maybe a year later, I gave it another shot, and I was blown away by its storytelling. Did you answer my favorite anime movie? Yeah, I did. I gave 2 answers. for my more biased answer, I'm gonna have to say the original Dragon Ball. I'm biased towards that because that's the thing that I grew up with. Or Voltus 5, Mazinger Z, stuff like that, like all the mecha animes back in the 90s and 80s. Um, but my less biased approach, if I take my bias glasses off, I'm gonna have to say it's either Attack on Titan or One Piece. Again, like I said, you're probably expecting me to give you a really obscure answer, right? But I just don't. And I've watched a lot of obscure anime, like Figi Yugi, Records of Lodoss War. I watched that recently. Really, really good. Um, but yeah, that's gonna have to be my answer. Sorry to disappoint ya. And right now, I am a casual anime watcher, just because I'm trying to branch out. I'm not really. I was never really an avid anime watcher ever in my life because I like stories in general, not just stories from anime, right? So I watch everything from nov, movies, TV series, anime, things like that, even novels. So I didn't really just stick to anime. I had a few things going on, and I would recommend you do that too. Branch out to other mediums. If you're trying to do manga or learn writing, because it's gonna expand your horizon. What's possible. What's your favorite anime, chat? Give me your favorite anime. Awaiting. Oh, you made a spell. I'm waiting for Maiden Abyss. Oh yeah, you know what? I did hear it came out. I mean, I did hear it's coming back. I standalone movie. Summer. Oh, okay. A standalone movie. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Vampire Hunter D, the new one, not the old one. The movie of Vampire Hunter D, really really good. Ghost in the Shell is also really good. Um, I don't really watch much anime movies. I'm more of a series guy, but I have watched a fair amount. What manga or anime do you prefer for beginner mangaka? I'd say, everybody's gonna say, everybody's gonna predict my answer to this because I've been asked this quite a lot. Witchet Atelier, because of its how simple the story is and how doable the artwork is there. That's really the series that inspired me to do manga. Okay, so I'd say start there. What else? There's this really obscure manga called Happiness. Again, really simple artwork. It's more of a horror though. A little bit more complicated plot point. It's not too complicated. I'd still say it's simple. It's just a little bit more complex than. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, no. It's way more simpler than Witch Atelier. Yeah, true. Yours and Dragons, really? Okay, I have my manga for you then. I have not um heard about that. I am looking forward to some of my mangas that will be arriving. I have I keep forgetting the name. Um, okay, I'm lagging to look up the name. Goryu Kuden, something like that. Some Demon Hunter stuff. I have I recently my Chainsaw Man manga volumes arrived. I'm waiting for my free run ones. I want to catch up to the more mainstream mangas that I'm interested in, like Free Ren or Chainsaw Man. I have Snow White with the red hair. And yes, that's a real name of the manga. I love that net. I love that title, by the way. Very creative. It's derivative and creative at the same time. What else do I have coming? I have a few. I'm ordering Vagabond. I've already read Berserk, but I want to have the deluxe edition um on my shelves. I really want that. It looks so good. Oh, by the way, there's also a deluxe edition for Witchet Atelier, the Grimoire edition. It looks so good. It looks like an actual witch book. I wish I had it, but it's one number one is so expensive, and I think it's only limited release. Most mangas are on fantasy or isekai. What ifs? Yeah, I think isekai is getting a big resurgence. Actually, it's been getting a big resurgence, and it hasn't really stopped ever since, let's say, Sword Art Online. I actually haven't watched Sword Art Online, but I believe that's like the isekai series that started. Well, maybe not started it, but it became popular after that series. I kind of put off watching that because I got discouraged when I heard that season 2 is really bad. I like Frieren and Isekai. Frieren's pretty good. I like the chill aspect of Frieren. I'm on my mid 30s now. I don't want to. Sometimes I just want to chill. I'm kind of looking forward to Bleach's Hell arc. I don't think that's gonna be for a while. Okay, this is turning out really good. Maybe some scratches here. These balls will cast a shadow, right? So let's make them cast a shadow. Only about season one. Dark fantasy like Berserk, Claymore, and Overlord. Oh yeah, I've watched all of those too. I've watched. I haven't finished Overlord yet. The rest did not care for. It will be a while then. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. The Hell arc. Kubo did one shot of the Hell arc. I think 2022, and he never followed it up. And I heard because it was because of the anime, right? He's overlooking that stuff, and he's taking a break. So now that the anime is about to be finished, I'm hoping that the Hell arc he'll pick up on Hell arc too. You know, that's always I've always been interested in Bleach. Um, when I was a kid, Dragon Ball was the anime that got me into anime, and then when I was a teenager, Bleach was the anime that I got other people to be in anime, to be interested in anime. When I was in school, I was like, "Oh, you should watch Bleach. Oh, what's my anime? Should I watch Bleach? Just watch Bleach." I'm watching Bleach, and then I'll get like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I started watching Bleach and shit." I don't know if this looks good. I don't think it looks good. I'm gonna trust the process. Okay, but I'm just making this up right now. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. This looks absolutely terrible. Black sludge. In fact, I'm catching myself again. I'm kind of rushing it. Just trust the process, Jingo. I don't think it looks good, guys. Yeah. Maybe if I do something like this, let's find texture brush, something like this, right? Because it's too strong. Yeah, I think that looks better. Way better. I like to have a bleach manga for reference. Yeah, his art style is pretty unique, I think. Did you don't want to rush? Yeah, I know, right? Take more times in the shadows. Now that I have the master manga. Now I have Rave. Now I have to master manga. Is that true what you're saying? They don't all have to look the same. I think I just need to reduce the intensity of the shadow. This part, it's too much, and this way I can add more texture to it. That's not so bad. Okay, I'll stick with it. We can improve it a little bit more by defining the shapes here. I'm not going for a realistic look. I'm going for a more manga look. So I want to have these boundaries between shapes so we can imply them, right? Because some of them just blends with the black. That's not really good. Come on. Ah, lagging. See that lag? Okay. I'll stick with that. I kind of like it. I really like it. Um, where else can we add black? Maybe we can add black more to this part. Here too. And a bit more here. 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 Some small ones. Maybe we can have like a dividing here for her abs. Yeah. Okay. Let's just fix that. Again, skin tight suit. Almost done with the blacks. This will be the last few ones that I'll be doing. And we can move on to, let's say, gray. to the grays. Something here is missing. It should curve all the way here. Okay. All right. Almost done. All right, we can move on to the grays now. Um, Actually, let's do the eyes. We're gonna render the eyes as if it's one of my manga render, right? So let's do this, and this one. Come on. You know what? Let's I'm gonna put that glare on the other side. Okay. But I can put it here too. That'll happen. Okay. Way thinner. We'll just do an anime nose and not define it too much. Okay. I want to add some scratches, just more textures. I actually want to I want to create a different layer for the textures. Let's say 11 pixels. Okay. All right, that's it. Let's do hatching lines really, really quickly. Really thin pen for the hatching lines. I'm gonna add the hatching lines where the light kind of meets the shadow here, like this. And it serves sort of like a nice hard transition from light to shadow. God damn, I'm really lagging, man. I'm so sorry about this. Hatching lines can also serve as like soft textures for your paintings, drawings. How does that look? Looks good. Keep going. Okay, keep going. There's gonna be a lot of hatching lines. This is gonna like give my hands an exercise. It's gonna be a workout. Especially in these parts here where there's a lot of 3D objects. I'm gonna have to really put my hands to work. There's a joke in here somewhere, and I'm not sure if I want to say it. Come on. Woo! Only one hand to draw. Wow, looks awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, only need one hand to draw. That's the joke, right? Totally get it. I am lagging like a mofo. Note to self: next time before you go live, restart your computer. Make sure everything is working fine. Download more RAM, dude. I got like a lot of RAM. Um, I don't think it's, it's funny because I didn't have this problem before I upgraded my computer. I needed to upgrade my computer for a few reasons. Well, number one was to because it was broken, and I didn't want to upgrade it, but my technician said, "Oh, the thing that you want to upgrade, that's the one that's broken, right?" So okay, so I bought a new part. I'm thinking, might as well upgrade it now, fix the problem at the same time, kill two birds in one stone. And then when I did that, it fixed our issue. But for some reason, Photoshop is it's not working. Well, it's working as intended, but there's something missing about it. I don't know what it is. Like, there's something different about it. It feels different. Let's turn it off. See how that looks. That looks okay. Keep going. GPU RAM. I'll tell you my specs. It's a. Oh, I upgraded my motherboard as well as my processor. I'll tell you my specs though. It's I got a RTX 4060 Ti, the 16 GB version. Um, I got 32 gigs of the DDR4 RAM, right? 32 gigs. I forgot an MSI motherboard. I forgot the model. B450F, I think, something like that. It's a mid-range computer. It does all the stuff I want. What else? I got like a lot of storage though, like 12 gigabytes, I think, 12 terabytes. Two of those are SSD. Actually, I think it's three of them. I think I upgraded that too. It's an SSD. Okay. I think I'm pretty much done with this part. Almost, I'm almost done. This takes a lot longer than my more painterly approach to drawing. Should be more than enough to for what you're doing. Yeah. So it does well. Even with my old computer, that already did a lot for me. I really just upgraded it because the GPU was bottlenecking my processor was bottlenecking my GPU rather. And again, my computer was broken, so I was thought, okay, I'll upgrade it now. What the heck, right? I need a thinner brush. Yeah, that's more like it. It kind of reminds me of pencil work back in the traditional days. What kind of style do you usually do? I'll have a few styles. This one is more manga, which this is my full-time job. But I also do painterly styles. I'll show you some of my work. Um, if my computer won't lag on me. Wait. Where did I put it? Here. Oops, wait. I got a Obama Hitler sign there. I sent that to a friend. Where did I put my paintings? Give me a sec. I might expose myself here, so I'm just putting this to the side. My print, this one. Come on, I'm lagging like a mofo. Open up, please. Yeah, just some picture I sent to my friends where Obama is doing the Hitler sign. It's funny. Come on. Damn, it's lagging like a mofo, man. Come on. All right, here we go. Whew. All right, that took like a good minute, right? So I do kind of like these paintings over here. AI viewers, what? Oh, it's a bot. The fan of Diva. Some of these are my OC. Actually, all of these are my OC. I don't really do much fan art. This is cover art. I don't do much fan art. I do sometimes, like what I'm doing now is a fan art. I'm actually changing that because I want to do more fan art. Whale, awesome. Thanks, man. Big 2B enjoyer. Oh, dude, you're gonna love that. Wait, give me a sec. Oh, never mind. But I got a big statue of A2 behind me. I got like a really big one. I couldn't find 2B when I was looking for a figurine. So okay, I'll settle with A2. What do I need what for? The statue? I'm drawing in the wrong layer. Oh yeah, A2 statue. Yeah, I do. I have a big A2 statue. See, when I'm hatching, my entire table is like shaking. It's so intense. This is like, you know, 4D chess or something. An intense game. Barely notice it, right? But I'm now committed. We're gonna do a bit of wrinkling here on her suit later. I think I'm rushing it again. I think I am. I gotta stop myself. Okay. Um. Yeah, I am rushing it again. This part is really hard to figure out because there should be a shadow that goes like this, right? Um, where the rib cage kind of meets the stomach. Um, but I'm having a hard time picturing it because of all of the detail on her suit. So instead, I'm going to render that part with a few grays later on, as well as the details for the abs, right? I think that's pretty much it, right? I'm just gonna work on a few here, but for the most part, I think I can't really add any more to this, and we'll move on to the grays, different tone of grays. We're gonna go to value painting in a little bit, okay? I'm just seeing where I'm just trying to see where I can add more hatching lines. Probably my greatest weakness is that I rush things when the painting is almost done. Trying to watch myself not to do that. Okay, let's try to turn that off. See if there's a big difference. A little bit of a difference, not so big. That's a big difference, right? The blacks. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the grays now. For this, I need a reference because I forgot what her suit looks like now. I need to take a picture. Do I still have my reference of her here? Or did I delete that? I think I still do. Is this it? Oh, yeah, I still do. Okay. We'll just use this then. I need to shrink her. Put her to the side. Elias, sub superstar. Hey, man. Okay. All right, I need more detail of the hair. These are all pretty much white with a few gray variations here that we can work on. 24, 22. Okay, I'm gonna get my pencil brush. So my brush is more textured. Here it is. So this part, gray. And then there are some parts here that are gray a little bit. Okay, what else? I'll color this gray. And that's pretty much it, right? There's nothing much to her. Okay. We're gonna add our whites. Because her suit has a lot of shine. So add some whites. Like that. Okay. We'll add a background too. It's lagging again. What advice would you recommend having drawing or writer's block? Drawing a writer's block? Oh, I got really good advice for that. Yeah, give me one sec though. I'll get into that, okay? For any sort of block, you can do two things. You can force yourself to be inspired, which by reading books, playing games, or watching a movie. I personally like reading books because the images you get from reading a description of something, it's originally yours and nobody can take that away from you. It's 100% original, okay? But what I would highly recommend if you have a writer's block or an art block is just go ahead and take a break. Procrastinate a little bit. You know, don't really think about art, this is what I do, by the way. Every week I have at least 2 days, 1 or 2 days that I just don't do anything art related. Okay, so I play some video games, or I edit my videos, things like that, and I don't pick up my tablet. I don't do anything, and then by the third day, I kind of miss drawing already, and so I avoid the I kind of depressurize myself, from being burned out, really. But if you're not having an art block, if you're not burnt out, and you really want to get inspiration, I would recommend you read a book. Um, because again, reading a book will give you ideas that nobody in the world has ever seen before. Right? It's going to give you inspiration to do that. It doesn't have to be a novel book, like a sci-fi book or a fantasy book or things whatever you're doing. Just read a book, right? In general, that's how I've been doing it um, for the longest time. Yeah, I kind of like the black background, right? We'll define her hair a little bit later. For now, I want to add the white. Whoa, where's the layer? Where's the layer? Does that help, guys? Hopefully that helps. Come on, I'm really lagging so bad. You know what? Kind of. All right, all right, all right. Wait. Let's pull back the curtain a little bit. Let's make a overlay layer instead, and then paint it white instead of erasing. There you go. So much better. Keeps mind active. Yeah, it's an exercise, right? Um, just just don't do anything for a while. Try taking a break. Especially for me or any of you guys who does this for a living. Art is great, and I am absolutely obsessed with art. But at the end of the day, a lot of what I do is like it's work related. So I still need to do something else besides work, and that means I need to do something else besides art. Watch videos like this. It also helps inspiration will crush through art blocks. Yeah, I guess so. For me, I've always just been um I'm the kind of guy to just take a rest for a bit when it comes to art block. I don't want to force myself to be inspired. I want my inspiration to come naturally. Um, like this, for example, I've been having this. Actually, I've been having this dream. All right, I know it's a dream, very corny. Um, ever since I was a kid, of like knights and in chivalry armor, and I wanted to do a series where I depict something or someone, doesn't have to be stellar blade or doesn't have to be anything, in this really heroic pose similar to a knight. Now it might this might not be the case here, but if you guys remember my stellar blade Eve drawing where she has her sword in front of her, that was kind of inspired out of that dream. All right, this is turning out really good. Some room lighting here. Does she have gloves? Oh no, it's her hands are still white. Great. There's not much room here to add any other colors other than whites or grays. If I can finish this today, tomorrow I'll do a cover art for my chapter 2 of my manga. I'm almost done with it. And chapter 2 won't be as long as chapter 1. Chapter 1 was around 30 something pages long. Chapter 2 will be just 18 pages long or something like that, right? It won't be something crazy. So I'm hoping to finish that in 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm already making a cover art for it ahead of time. I'm really excited about it. They're actually the next few chapters I'm really excited about. I haven't lost my viewers for with the manga I'm doing because I kind of retcon, well, not really retcon, but yeah, retconned my chapter 1 to be something else, right? The story of my original chapter 1 is still in effect, right? It's not like I got rid of that. Keeps the mind active, watching video. Art books. Art books also help. Yeah. For me, my art book, I haven't really touched a lot of them for a while. They're really just. I think collecting art books is just novelty. They don't really have a practical use to it. I dare I say, right? Because for me, I haven't picked them up for a while. It's just an inconvenient thing for me to look for an inspiration in a book than online where it's everything's faster. My art books behind me, you can't see it, but I have like a lot of art books behind me. Um, they're really just display conversational piece, a pretentious thing to have. I don't know. Dare I say, right? Should I start blending this? Oh, no, 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 no. Stop, 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 stop. Um, I'm just gonna draw the initial. Okay, again here, a lot of metallic parts, so a lot of shiny parts. Um, let's make that shinier a little bit. So I'm just making it dark for the meantime, just so I can see the white a lot better. We're gonna bring that down again later, because my eyes is having a hard time determining what is what, right? So for now, just bear with me. I'm trying not to add any more gradients here. You know, like a soft brush. Um, I want it to be close to traditional as I can, and I'm only using this pencil brush that has a little bit of texture to it as my rendering brush, right? So at least it has a little bit of this dirt here, you know, these imperfections that you kind of get with traditional art. I really like that, right? Looks so much better. A little bit of charm in it, I think, when there's a little bit of a imperfection on your drawing. Not all shiny, right? Part of me kind of would just want to keep darker suit. It looks so cool. It just doesn't look accurate to the character. Rim light. I can't wait to get to the hair because actually give me a sec. What in the world is going on? All right, sometimes my chat disappears. Kind of scares me sometimes. But anyway, yeah, I can't wait to get to the hair. We're gonna like really get into it. Make that hair pop out a little bit more. Um, we'll define the abs a little later when we add a little bit more gray. And I need some references. Still here? Oh man. Waiting for this to be finished. I don't know if I can finish it today. I probably can. Because I just need to add the grays. And maybe just clean up parts here and there. Look at that? Yeah. Okay. Finally, my son is asleep. Okay, let's pull this back to 22%. That should be more accurate from the suit that she's wearing, right? I forgot to add the whites here. Sorry, I'll bring it back. Yeah, this part is lacking a lot of whites. Okay, let's pull that back. Now let's add the grays. New layer, multiply, and you know what? I think I have. Okay, I do have that right there. Add the blacks now. Okay, that looks good. I think it looks good. Pick it up. Okay. All right. More shades here. There's some black parts here. More of the hydraulics, I think, colored darker. So let's do that. This inside bit. These H's. Okay. Some of this I'm just going about by memory. While I was looking at references when I was drawing this. I can't really tell what's going on here. There's a lot of Ghibli bits, okay? It's like technology, okay? Whatever. No, let's just color the entire thing around here. It kind of helps separate the white parts, you know, the part that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna make them darker like this. Okay. Shadows. By the way, the reason why I changed and my style, um, if you guys seen my post, my most recent manga page is drawn differently, and I gave up on purely black and white. The reason why I did that is because of this study. While I was studying, what's his name? I was studying Vegamon artist. Come on, you can remember his name. Takahiko Inoue. I found that he uses he stopped using um he stopped using gray scale tone screen tones in favor of a brush, a ink brush, which has the same effect as what I'm doing here, right? So I was like, okay, so you can do something like that on a manga nowadays. What am I doing with black and white? Because I've always felt like I've been fighting with the art style of doing it with black and white. Okay, so I felt like it's not a natural art style for me. So I thought, since a mangaka is like doing this thing that I want to do, not only a mangaka, a very popular mangaka, a legend in the manga space, then there's no need for me to adhere to this old rule of only using black and white, right? So that's kind of how I felt about it. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna give that up, and I'm just gonna do my thing, regardless of what people think. Okay, I think we're almost done with the body. I want to do the hair next. Let's do the face first. I'm not really sure if I want to render the face and just leave it like fully white, because it differentiates itself from the suit, right? I'm gonna try to render it. Let's do it in a different layer. See what actually what it looks like. If I don't like it, I'm just gonna leave it entirely white. So the light here is coming from the upper right corner. Um, we're gonna light it like this. Oh, actually, kind of like it, but maybe with a softer light, softer shadow. Right? It looks good. Okay. I'm gonna keep it. I really like that. I dig it. Um, I do need to at least put a little bit of effort to the separation here. I don't know. I'm not sure how I can depict bounce light with this thing. Maybe let's do bounce light like this. Very soft. I really like it. I just need to maybe soften it a little bit, break a little bit of rule, and actually use a brush, a soft brush. I know I said earlier that I won't use that. It's okay. It's okay. Just that part there, okay? Because I really dig this part. Okay, so now let's define the hair, because the hair is kind of blending in with the black background. I may need to fix that a little bit. Give me 1 sec. Turn that off, and let's make this darker so I can see the strands here and erase these things. Okay, let's put that back here, and there you go. So for the hair, um, different layer. How am I gonna do this? Okay, maybe I can make that a little bit brighter. Okay. Now I can depict the hair with a little bit of white. You know what? I'm just gonna go with the flow. Shit, I don't want to go with the flow. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna need to brighten this part up, okay? Just for now, and then we're gonna erase that after I define the hair a little bit more. Just so I can see. The problem is I can't see what I'm working with without that thing. Okay, since the light is coming from the upper right, this part should be mostly lit up. So we're gonna emphasize a lot of whites here. Say because without the let's pull out another lagging again. Bear with me. Um, See, now you can see her hair, right? Some of it. There's still some work need to be done. This is really the fun part, guys. The rendering part. I'm like chilling right now. I'm not stressing about the painting. I'm thinking about what to draw tomorrow, or what time should I get up. Every single problem for with the everything that I need to figure out with this drawing has already been figured out. I really don't need to think about it anymore. I'm zoning out, talking. I'm no longer figuring things out. Where the light goes, that's already been done. Um, yeah, it's relaxing. And there's always, I think a lot of artists, they have their favorite part of the art process, right? And I think it's because it makes them think less. And for me, this makes me think less. It kind of relaxes me, not just at the artist level, but in life in general. I'm a dad. I need to work. I need to earn things like that. So it's life is kind of stressful for me. But this part, I can forget all of that in just this moment, right? Well, now that I'm talking about it, I guess not, but you know what I mean. There we go. I don't need the guide anymore. Can now just make my own stuff. Oh man, let me just stretch for a bit, eh? All right, I guess this is almost done. What else can I add here? Maybe darker shadows underneath her nose. Terminator lines. Oh, sorry, wait, wrong layer. And Terminator lines here, there. Move it here. Okay. Let's add some background. I kind of like that background, right? No. That should make something good. Instead of putting that there, let's put that here. Right there. Very faint. Okay. It's too much. Too much. Still too much. That's good. Let's erase some of that. Hmm. Not sure about the glow. What do you guys think? Should I glow? Or just the line art? Or just, nothing at all? I think nothing at all works. Maybe we can reduce this glow to like that much. So it's more of an ambient. Yeah, I like that. I feel like she needs something. Does she have any text? She doesn't. Oh yeah, the on her neck. What does it say again? Man, I gotta type this in and I'm lagging like a mofo. It's gonna take a while. Bear with me. Lagging. Should I look it up in my phone? Give me a sec. I'm gonna look it up on my phone, which will be faster. I'll be right back. Okay, scratch that. My phone is low battery. I just charged it, and that's gonna take a while. But there's something in her neck. There was something in her neck that I forgot to add detail with, and I don't think I have the references here anymore. Let me double check if I do. Yeah, I don't think I have the references. That's okay. There it is. Was that COOP? I think that's COOP. I can't tell. CDDP? It's really unclear what that says. Oh, it's CDDP. Okay, CDDP. And I'll try to copy the font as best as I can. Okay. Mm. C D. Okay, what else am I missing? There's a texture here on her neck section, right here. That kind of looks like cross hatching or diamonds. I think I have a texture brush like that. Let me see if it actually works. If I can find it. Yeah, something like this. All right. Maybe reduce the opacity. Screw the perspective a little bit. And reduce the thighs. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, well, we won't be able to see it on this side because that angle is kind of extreme. But I can't seem to find anywhere else where that's located anyway. But I think I'm good with this, right? I don't really know what else to add. Maybe I'll do some background stuff, or maybe I'll just leave this for now and give myself a little bit of time to think it over. And maybe tomorrow I can figure out a way to make it better. But for now, I really like the where it is. Right, I like the way the suit is sketched out, or the shiny parts. Um, the shadow is a bit all over the place. I can tell you that. And I think I'm kind of tempted to redo the shadows, to be honest with you. This layer here, especially on this abdomen section, it's all over the place. Maybe if I make it just a little bit more consistent, adding the shadow parts here, it's a little bit better. And it's a little bit better. I'm really tempted to just go and blend the pencil drawing so it's a little bit less textury. But I kind of digging the style at the same time. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. I'm thinking it over, okay? Okay, I may end up just redoing the shadows. This layer. Because all by itself, it looks fine. And I may reduce the shoulder bits. I think it's too big. Raise the hands. Yeah, I could do that too. I think this section here, is too long. If I do an anatomy check, do an anatomy check. Right here should be the shoulders, biceps. Actually, it's fine, and because this is the elbow, right? And right, it's fine. It's a little bit long, but it's not too long that anatomies that the anatomy wouldn't make sense. And then right, just checking upon my thing here, right? I'm not really. Yeah, I guess this is okay. Yeah, it's okay. I also want to reduce her, maybe like this. Yeah, reduce her body a little bit. Oh no, she's fine. She's fine the way she is. Um, okay. Well, like I said, I'll think it over. But for now, I'm gonna have to take off, guys. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, I think, longer than my normal stream. And tomorrow I'll be back, same time, around 9 or 10 p.m. Philippine time. And I guess tomorrow I'll just be rendering my work. Cause I got a lot of work to still do, right? Or I could just finish this off and see what I can do within that time frame. Maybe do some manga stuff. Next week, what I'm hoping to do next week is do the cover art. We'll do some art reviews if somebody accepts it, and we'll make our own character that's based off chat. Right? I really want to do that, but I haven't gotten the opportunity to, since there's just a lot of work to be done in my part, right? And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, bye bye. You see ya. I'll be sleeping now.